Okay. Oh my god, I am really disoriented. Jesus fucking Christ, man. My brain feels like mush. Or, I don't know, everything's weird. I'm definitely a bit foggy brained currently. Not too bad, but enough where, I'm probably gonna stutter a lot. Oh, shit, hold on. I wanted to pull this up real quick. Fucking ferret hit in the bottle. I love that gif. What am I missing? Oh, I forgot about that. I'm gonna do it another time. I gotta be up in the morning, so I won't be here for too long. I should have swapped the screen over, but I think I left that tab too fast. Hold on. Does it not swap it? Let me see if it swaps to game source. Should. Yeah. We love that little transition. God, I forget that I have such a fucking blocky ass phone now. I love it. And trust me, don't get me wrong, I love this thing to death. It's just such a big or drastic, such a drastic change from the little one I had, which I still have with me here. I don't know, I'm too sentimental towards this thing to just put in a drawer and call it a day, but eventually it'll end up in my phone box, which has every phone I've ever had in there. God. Funny enough, none of them... that's a lie. I was going to say none of them have ever broke on me, but that is not true. They definitely have. Well, only one of them. My first phone ever broke on me because I wanted to experiment with the motherboard coding, and I rooted it, and I wanted to change the UI to make it look more brand new because we couldn't afford getting me a new phone around then. I was like barely in middle school, so I tried encoding all of that shit to be more up to date with the newer Android versions, and it bricked my phone. And I don't mean the good type of bricked. God no. Meaning I wasn't accessible anymore. I didn't know how to fix it. I think nowadays I definitely would be able to if I like got into it again, but nope. It sucks because I even added some like more security like base things into it, and yeah, no, it's just fucking gone. How do you use this? Okay, I can just use my bumpers, but I'm looking for practice range. Oh. This fucking UI is weird, but it is what it is. Sigma Overwatch. I don't like the Galactic. On this skin at least. Gold is a lot better, but I'm not gonna bother changing it. And it's funny. Usually every time when I choose a character in practice range, especially if I'm gonna be like yapping with somebody, mainly Candy most times, because she does that now. I don't know where she picked that up from, but when her and Hammer want to just yap, she'll throw them in here, use game chat, and just relax. And I think she picked up the FaceTime thing from me, because I told her about it ages ago. So they do that and that, and goofy. I think they're playing Fortnite right now. No, he's at work. She's playing Fortnite with her girly pop friend. I forgot her name. Oh my god. What the fuck was her name? It'll probably come to me when my brain's not staticky. Let me change my playlist. Hold on, I need to lower my volume down because fucking YouTube will copyright me if it picks up even a glimpse of what I'm listening to. Yippee hooray. Love when they do that. Help me knows. But, God, no. I don't know. It's crazy. It sucks. I did sleep in like the majority of the day. I hate doing that. I would rather my 3 to 5 hours worth of sleep over sleeping in the entirety of a day. Because I had big plans today. By big, I mean like just chores, picking up, and then I also had to go check in with Minx, and then what else? I wrote it down on sticky notes, which I don't know why I still do that. I have a phone with a fucking pen that's capable of jotting down notes, but I don't know. I think I just prefer like writing stuff down by hand. It's a lot more fun and satisfying, I guess. I don't know. But whatchamacallin'? No, I never really do the whole like stress-induced deep sleep stuff where like you just feel so tense and stressed that you just want to sleep and avoid whatever it is that's like bugging you, or just trying to think about it because you know any other distraction won't really work type of thing. I'm not a fan of doing that personally, solely because I don't know, my brain is wired to keep moving and just keep working, keep doing, and you know, but as time has gone by over the years, that I've like realized that's how my brain tends to work. I've obviously worked on it, and I try to take those breaks and relax, and not try to fucking overdo anything. But the reason why I even had, or the reason why I started to even feel like that to begin with, I slept yesterday pretty much right after stream. I think I streamed yesterday, right? It wasn't like a day before. I can just check my YouTube, but hold on, fuck. I'm scared to open the stream over there. You know, I forget that there's a whole chat and everything over there and whatnot, but no. Either way, I mean, no one types in it. I can see my analytics just by going to like live tab, and it'll tell me there like, you know, views and stuff. I assume that translates the views that you get during stream translates over to its overall, but what would I know? I don't mess with YouTube's live statistics and all that stuff enough, or at all. Same with Twitch's. Like, I definitely notice when people tune in, but most of the time, if not all the time, it's just bots that follow me to try to start fucking typing in chat. But I have it set to a rule where you can't type unless you've been followed for like a day. And I guess those bots are programmed to just unfollow right after, or Twitch bans them pretty quickly. I don't know, but it's wacky. It's always funny to see. I'll get like an email the next morning and be like, oh, 2 new followers, and I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean 2 new followers? And then I'll click on the more info thing, and it'll take me to my app, and it'll show me the people's names, and they're clearly fucking like auto-generated bot names, and I'm like, okay. So no, I don't have too many followers. I had 2 bots who tried to follow, thinking that it would immediately let them chat. But it's always goofy. It's always fun. Funny. Oops. Anywho. No, I slept pretty much after stream. I woke up at 9:30, and it was decent. I mean, got me about 5 hours worth of rest, so that was cool. But from there on out, I stayed awake. I had a pretty heavy dream about a lot of things. Like, fuck, it felt like, I don't know, I felt like everything was being replayed in my head from, like, just, I don't know, everything that I ever thought in life type of thing. Not blah, blah, blah. Oh my god, my throat. Okay. I made it worse. Now I sound like this. Fucking hate when I sound like that. It's not intentional. There's times where it just kind of happens and I let it roll. But no, I don't know. It's like everything I've been like stressing about currently, and even some like little flashbacks to some of the oldest things I haven't thought about in years, all in one dream within those 5 hours of me sleeping. And just, fuck, man. It hit me really hard that I woke up and I was like, I want to play Overwatch. Fuck, I shit you not. I went to go grab a handful of these mints that I have in my pantry closet. And I took one. I have like a couple more here. Cause I've had them like throughout the day. As to why I did that, to kind of shake off the tiredness. Mints usually, peppermint and whatnot, tend to help with that. At least that's what I was told, given the fact that our teachers would give us mints during like important STAR tests and all that. But nah, fucking, I don't know. It was a lot. I'm not gonna dissect and go through it, but there was one thing that I was like, kind of want to just talk about. And if anyone ever reads the title on YouTube, because I never changed the one on Twitch, it's always just a letter A. Not symbolic, just don't know what the fuck to name it, so I'm just like, you know. But it's titled Lomita, which is a mound, or like we always thought it was a little hill. I believe it's like close to one. And that is in reference to this little mound, dirt mound, that we would go over when I was a kid. Mostly every day, taking a route to most like stores. When my family and I needed to go to go get some groceries or something, we would take that little path around, and it was this dirt round mound. And what my dad would do sometimes, he would cross it, and he would check that there was no one coming. So he would put us right back at the start where we were coming from. He's like, "You guys want to jump it?" I'm like, "Oh my god, yeah." So he would fucking accelerate and jump it. And there was one time where he caught some wind that the fucking front bumper scratched horribly onto the ground. And he was pretty upset at himself for that for a while. Because he was like, "Fuck, I can't fix that. I don't have the money for it. I shouldn't have done that." And he calmed down. He's like, "Oh, did you guys at least have fun?" And we were like, "Yeah, that shit was so cool, Dad. I'd do it again." Obviously, he said no, but goofy. It was fun. It wasn't that big of a mound either way. Oh my You might think that maybe I just need water. I haven't chugging that shit. It's not even that. It's just, I don't know. I think I'm just old, dying, or whatever. But why did my messenger open? Oh, my mom messaged me. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, I have like a list of suggested friends. Oh wow, my sister still has her ex added. Eek, that's not good. Oh, that's what that other art looks like. There's this third art that Adrian and Luis know, and I've never seen him. I just got him suggested on Messenger. Weird. Okay, we don't. What the fuck? Friend requests. Oh. I've never seen these before. Spam. Huh. That motherfucker's definitely not alive. That sounds mean, I know, but old friend I used to go to middle school with. But no. No, I don't know. I just started thinking about life as a kid because I feel like that's something I never really like touch base on at times. I never really explained to anybody much about it, which I believe why most people believe that like I'm just so mysterious and edgy because of those things, but it's never really a case of like not wanting to talk about it. It's more of just like I don't even know what to tell people half the time. Then I don't know. I don't know. I obviously don't want to like just tell them the fucking bad bits about it because if I'm being honest, a lot of it really was not the best. And yeah, but there were definitely some good bits. I mean, like what I just mentioned, that little mound my dad would take the route of, and we'd do those little jumps every now and then. Because don't, I mean, even after he fucking scratched his bumper, right? Bumper. He still did it, like, I don't know, a month after, maybe, too. It was goofy. It was fun. I mean, hell, we went there one time to collect some stuff from our old house. And he did it again with his new car. Because, I think, yeah, he lost his car to an impound. Oh my, this happened so many times. Like this was like a good chunk of our lives. Because my dad knew how to fix cars. Just only certain things about cars and only certain models that he personally liked. Only, not like a general thing. And some of the models he usually liked, or whatnot, were wacky. Like some of the parts you weren't unable to find half the time. I remember our junkyard adventures where we would go to 2 junkyards in our hometown, one leading to the beach, and I always accompanied him because I liked the smell of like the sandy or the fucking salty waters, and you can smell them from like fucking miles. And the junkyard, you definitely can smell it, along with all the rust in the air from the cars that were collecting there. Because that junkyard was fucking messy. Because most times, like, if you've ever gone to a junkyard, you like, most people have like the cars not stacked on one another and separated. So like, if there's a certain model of whatever that you need, it'll be there, easily accessible for you. Nope. This one had a bunch of mountains of fucking cars, and it was a fucking hazard to be in there. But I thought it was cool. But because fuck, what was it? There was a couple of times we saw some old classics just fucking torn up, and I'm like, damn, I can fix that. But anywho, now my dad got his car impounded, his Taurus, and like I said, this was a majority part of our life. Well, not majority, but it would happen a lot because my dad was fucking stupid, very stubborn, and unwilling to like take his car to a shop to actually get it like fixed up or anything. Like he was just, it was annoying. So his cars would always usually break down because some of the parts he would get from junkyards were not the part for the car that he needed or that he had. So he would still shove it in there, and obviously it would work for a bit, but the next thing you know, boom, fucking engine broke. And the part that I'm talking about, that was like a good part of my life, was we would have to park our broken down car somewhere, ask the store or whatever it is we're parking it in if we can keep it there overnight until we get what we need. And they usually agreed on it. And then we would walk home, miles and miles home. That was life to an extent. But his got impounded because he had asked, his shit broke smoking real bad near a gas station on the way going home, quote unquote. We were living with one of my mom's friends at the time. And he had me help him push the car into a gas station. And I waited outside until he came out, letting me know that they were going to allow him to leave the car there overnight. But it turns out the person he thought was the manager that he was speaking to about it was not. And so when the manager came through later on that day, the employee had already left and did not advise anybody else about the agreement made upon my dad and him. And they got impounded. We came back the very next day, missing. We asked, the manager was actually there. He's like, oh yeah, I called the tow truck. I didn't give anyone permission for that. He's like, oh, was that not the manager I was talking to? And he was like, I guess not. Who would you speak to? And he's like, I don't know the name, but it's fine, whatever. And I was pissed. And I know when that man is fucking angry, fucking hands curdled into a little fist and everything. And I don't know, his face, although was always pretty fucking, I don't know, angry looking, he had like an extra brow going down type of thing. And he was just pacing back and forth, getting his little track phone out, pressing on the fucking keys, and just calling my mom and be like, hey, they took my car. And my mom I could just hear her through the fucking speaker getting mad at him, saying like, you should be more responsible, like what is your problem, blah blah blah. And my dad would just kind of hang up on her. He's like, yep. I'm like, oh my god. The only thing that went through my head was, I hope we take the cool routes to go home. Well, two things. That and just wasn't excited for the argument that my mom and dad were gonna have when we got home. That wasn't fun. But I mean, it never got horrible. Just a fucking yawn match. My dad being stubborn and not admitting or, unwilling to take accountability for his stupid actions because he believed he was always right. So did my mom. So just in a never-ending loop of who's gonna give in eventually and just fucking take the fall. But it was annoying. I didn't even have earbuds or anything at the time because I didn't know what the fuck they were. That's not true. I got earbuds like sometime in elementary, but I only had what are they called? They were like the little square iPod things, but they were made with just like the button. And I had like 10 songs in it because I think that's all you could download into it. And I remember I definitely had Day and Night by Kid Cudi in there. Day and Night. What a banger. I had that one. What else? I know my sisters were like fucking with me one day and they put a One Direction song in there, but I was like, man, this is a fucking banger. And then I deleted it the next day. Because we had a shitty little, like, Windows XP computer with a little, like, floppy disk drive and everything still on it. God, what a fucking time to be using that thing. Hearing the sounds it would make when you would turn it on. Because we also had, like, a set of speakers to go with it. Fucking goofy. But, oh my god. Fucking, I'm probably just gonna be like, I'm not gonna go on a timeline type of thing here. Or maybe, I don't know. But that reminded me of fucking elementary. There was, every year, the school would invite like a magician or someone who was skilled at something in particular, even like some zoo people. And it was fun, it was great. They would present to us like all these cool new things, from instruments to toys to like whatchamacallit, like what their job is, and sometimes they would have like little things you can buy from them to kind of help them out, I guess, or it kind of went to the school for our field trips and stuff too. But anyways, there came a year where we got a yo-yo master, one of the top fucking yo-yo masters in the state, maybe. I don't know. I would say world, but I don't remember anything. I don't even remember his fucking name. All I remember is he was a white blonde guy who was balding, and he was pretty tall, like maybe 6'2". And he would teach us the tricks that you can probably look up online. And at the end of it, he would teach us the tricks, and then he had like a set of 5 different yo-yos, and every yo-yo was a different type of animal. Like you had the dragon, the dragonfly, the butterfly, the centipede, I think was one of them, and I don't remember the last one, but I'm sure it was either bug related or something. But they also had different colors representing, the animal and whatnot. And they had the logo of the animal. I got the dragonfly, personally. Solely because he's like, you can do the elevator with the dragonfly, as if there was a fucking difference between any of them that gave you different fucking skills, I guess. But the reason I bring it up is because these things were like $15, I think. And, we weren't fortunate enough to like be able to get much like that, but I think income tax came around and my mom and dad were like, you know what, you go buy yourself one, and buy one for your sister, because you know how she doesn't like interacting with people. And I'm like, okay. I bought her the dragon, which was green. The dragonfly, mine, was, I want to say, red. And no, mine was green, hers was red. Oh damn. But anyways, they're all the same price value. But when you purchase one of these, they're obligated to give you a CD that the guy made, showing you how to do all the tricks from home. So our little PC, which had a floppy disk drive, fucking wasn't capable to fucking, take the damn thing. So we would put it in our living room with our shitty little DVD player. And I was just in the living room watching how to do all the tricks, and I learned how to do them all. The only bad part is that where I lived, people were a little mean. So one of my friends grabbed my yo-yo and purposely was being like rough with it and ended up breaking it in half, and it devastated me. But I was more afraid about coming home and letting my mom know about it, because there was points and times that she tried getting like invested into whatever we were like liking at the time. I mean, as parents do, you know, just keep up with you and talk to you. So I was afraid that at some point my mom picked up on the fact that like I hadn't been like playing with the yo-yo that I've been using for like almost 2 weeks, and she'll eventually come around and ask and like, hey, where is that thing by the way? And I'm just like, ah, fuck. But the one thing my parents always told us growing up was never lend anybody any of your stuff. Not even pencils, nothing. Like, don't trust anybody behavior. And I don't know. I never really liked that, so I still did anyways. But that's on me, because I even had my PSP go stolen when I was in middle school. So that was cool. No, but God, my fucking dragonfly yo-yo. I'll miss that thing. I'm sure, I feel like I can probably search it up right now on Google and I'll probably get something. Or I'll probably get some AI generated bullshit and it's gonna be like a yo-yo shaped into a dragonfly. Fly yo-yo. I put Yoto. Oh wait, is that actually it? Oh my god, I found it. Duncan? Oh my god, they're $5 now. You're fucking kidding me. Yeah, this is it. Oh my god. Duncan Dragonfly yo-yos. Yeah, look, here's the set. Oh my god. Yeah, he's the fucking white blonde guy in the corner. That was him. That's fucking nuts, dude. Holy shit. Duncan's fucking yo-yos. It seems like he had his own line of toys and such, but $5 now for one of these fucking things? You gotta be kidding me. Paid fucking $15 for mine. Oh my god, someone is selling on eBay $346 worth of a set of yo-yos. What's so special about these? I'm curious enough that I'm clicking on it to see like the pictures. Oh wow. I think they're like antique and there's like different types of yo-yos from around the world. No Duncan yo-yos though. He does have like this like NASA made one. $348. Free shipping, okay. One available. That's crazy. Oh wow, someone's selling a yo-yo for $650. It's one of them antique ones. Wow, I guess there's a lot of consumers for this type of thing. Frankenstein yo-yo for $224. That looks sick. It's like made out of some green alloy. Cool. But anywho, nah, that's cool. They're $5 now compared to. I mean, I won't lie to you for how kind of cheaply made those things are. $5 is a little high in my opinion. Maybe like 3. I could see it buying. If you buy it from the website, it's $12 from what I saw. But I think it's like an upgraded version with like some alloy or some shit inside of it. Because that's usually they either use aluminum or some fucking alloy. But to try to like make the production value better or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I'm not in the yo-yo business by any means. But God no, fuck dude. I mean, nah. God, what a wacky time all that was. But in terms of like the way I grew up, and like how things were as far as I remember, yeah, that's where I struggle. I don't know. I mean, things were rough. Yeah, I mean, I had to walk to school most times. But my mom would accompany me. There was definitely times where I would go on my own and then I'd get in trouble. I think a cop picked me up one time. They're like, "What are you doing out here?" And I'm like, "School." I got taken back home and my mom was like, It's like I've been looking for him, like I've been kind of panicked and whatnot. And nah, and my mom explained everything to the guy, and the guy was like, okay, well, yeah, it seems about right for people who live here. Nah, I got to skip school that day. But eventually I stopped. I don't know. There's a point in time when. No, fuck. Sorry, I got a flashback to like. Even before school. That was like one of the first like scars I got. To make a long story short, as a kid, my mom had a fucking rival, funny enough. And this lady was the current wife of her ex-husband. Mind you, the ex-husband was a piece of shit. But my mom just kept going back, even after everything. I do and I don't know why. And the I do portion isn't an understanding, it's more of just a disappointment factor of like, I don't know. I had to understand that at a young age, like why people do that, and my mom being the biggest person to do something like that, I always disagreed with. And but anyway, I remember our bunnies. But fucking before I even mentioned the bunnies and animals we had growing up, my mom, I don't remember what happened. I think this lady was spreading rumors about my mom. And it got so bad to the point where, like, I don't remember. Something happened to my mom. Not like bad. More just like, I think someone came to harass her at her job about it. My mom was like, what the fuck are you hearing this shit from? And she's like, oh, whatever her name was. My mom called her the lizard in Spanish, I guess. So. But no, I remember going over, and sorry, not me personally. I was like 5 years old, maybe 4. But I do remember this, and whatchamacallit. My mom went to go confront the lady, like right after work. She brought my aunt with us because my mom still took care of them, and my aunt was like middle school going to high school barely. And then all of us were in the car. Me being the youngest. I got out of the car because I was worried for my mom. I didn't know what was going on. So I waddled right behind her, and I kept telling her and asking her, like, hey, like, can we leave? Like, I'm scared. And my mom ignored me completely because she was having a yelling match with this lady. Until eventually the lady purposely pushed my mom, knowing that I was behind her, making me fall so she would fuck off and leave. And everyone except that really fucking rude ass lady, which my mom knows still nowadays. Fucking whatchamacallit, they came to my attention. I was obviously crying. And I had scratched up my elbow. And that was like one of the first scars I got, because we were in like a little patch of grass that was surrounded by some concrete, and so stupid. But everyone came to my attention. They're like, are you okay? And I was like a fucking scared cornered cat. I was like, like, who the fuck are you people? And we left after that. My mom didn't get upset at me. She was more like, wanted to make sure I was okay. Took me to the doc next day, and, everything was fine. But I remember after that, as I grew older, I like spited the fuck out of that lady for that. Because in my head, I knew the morality of right and wrong already at this point, and I understood that what she did was wrong. And the fact that it was towards me, I was like, nah, you know what? Fuck you, lady. So anytime she came around, I fucking hosed her down with water or something to get her to fuck off. Not directly. Like, more just, like, kind of aimed it at her. I'm like, get the fuck away. Shoo. Well, your mom doesn't want to come out here and talk to me. I just fucking, like, aimed it close to her and, like, get the fuck out of here. Fucking stupid. But she was no threat. She was all bark, no bite. She was just really fucking annoying. So was my mom, just trying to get back with that fucking guy. Ugh. Or not even that. I know they ended on some pretty rough terms, and my mom was the one who initially left, but I don't know. Their whole thing was weird. I never fully understood it myself, but all I know is that her whole fucking scheme to rebound with him every time always ended in some fucking terrible way. Not in a threatening manner, not until like a couple of years back now. But it was rough. But no, that time period we also had like a couple of pets. We had a couple of baby chicks that eventually grew up into some chickens. We had some geese, 2 bunnies, and some cats. And they all got along really well. Sometimes the bunnies would kick the cats away because the cats were being assholes, like Zorro and Sebastian. And yeah, and then our bunnies' names were Trinity and Neo because my dad loved The Matrix at the time and bought them as a gift for my mom because my mom adores rabbits and whatnot. And we had a black spotted white bunny and a like grayish, whitish bunny as well. Both male, or one male, one female. And the black spotted was Neo, and the gray was Trinity. And again, my dad bought it for my mom as a gift. Bought them as a gift. And we used the room in our house that we weren't using it for anything at all, as their like their pen area. But when it came to the naming part of things, if I'm not wrong on the story, my mom was so happy about having them that she wanted to make him a part of taking care and loving them and appreciating them. And knowing my dad was like a big fucking Matrix fan, she named them Trinity and Neo. And my dad was like happy about it, if I remember. But they were cool bunnies. They were nice. Trinity didn't like me because I was a snot-eating little piece of shit who always poked at her. Not like her eyes, or I didn't harm her. It's just like, like overstimulation kind of poke. Like I just kept like poking them, like because I was scared to pet her fully, and she hated it, so she bit me. Rightfully so. I'm not even mad at it. I know how I was as a fucking kid. I was a little shit. Ugh. But no, they were good pets. They were nice. They were cool. I think Neo was like my homie. I'd go in there and he'd just like stare me down and do a little nod and then like walk around just happily and joyously. And then there's a decent amount of times because we had like I think that creaking's coming from my boarded fucking thingy. No. Sorry, I have a mirror on my wall. It's like a barn flap thing. I have them tied down to be closed and everything, but with my fan being, or spinning as fast as it does, sometimes they don't hold open. But no. And then we had our geese. It was Rocky and something else, because we had 2 geese, and then we had 3 chicks. 2 of those chicks were like already growing pretty quickly, and then we had like those little dwarf chickens. But unfortunately that little guy ended up passing away pretty quickly. I don't know why, but I don't know. I want to say like we didn't have the proper things to take care of him, because he was tiny as fuck. Like you could he was like a little speck in your hand, and it was really sad when he passed away. He was so cute. He was so tiny, and just made me real fucking sad. I cried. But no. And then, well, the cats. Whatchamacallit. We had so many pets by the time that we had to move somewhere else because we couldn't afford being in the place we were at. We had to give away some more pets except the cats because apparently we were moving except the cats at least. But our cats are indoor cats and they were pretty scaredy of traveling and whatnot. And my mom and dad didn't know much about like maybe getting some catnip or maybe some meds from the vet to calm them down until we get there and whatnot. So in their little pen, they would just yell a lot until we got there. But thankfully, it wasn't far at all. But when we got there and we tried to help them adjust to the new place, they weren't exactly happy. And no, nothing. Not like bad where like they started fucking scratching and whatnot. They're more just like very scared of everything around them, a whole new environment and such. And we just comforted them, got them some treats and stuff, and we're vibing. And eventually they came around, but no. And then what else? Oh, my hermit crab, fucking Hermie the hermit crab. Love that little guy. We had ducks. We had 4 ducks. Not at the same time, 2. Pairs of 2s were always like our thing when it came to getting pets. Oh, we had mice. We had a rat. 2 iguanas. Thinking emoji. I remember I always wanted a chameleon, but that never happened. Maybe sometime in the future, but I think if we had anything else, but I think it was mainly just that. Oh, dogs. We had dogs. We had 2 female dogs, a black German Shepherd named Midnight, and a small, I don't even know what breed she was. She looked like a fucking furball. Little Furby looking dog. Her name was a lot of things. Because we never decided on a name specifically, but my dad was like, we should call her Princess. And then a month later, he's like, you know what? No, let's call her Chewbacca, because she looked a lot like Chewbacca, if I'm being honest. And then next thing you know, he would switch it up to Spanish and be like, Perrita, which is just small female dog in Spanish. And so, like, eventually we just cycled between all of those. And she understood. Like, oh, Perrita, and she'd come running. Chewbacca, again, and then Princess. It's weird, but she was nice. Loved her. She unfortunately had babies with a stray dog that broke into our yard, and we couldn't take care of them, so I think we dropped them off at a vet one morning, but some of them unfortunately like died or something. I don't remember what they told us, but they did pass away. And it made me so fucking sad because I had pictures of them on my camera, and I was like so happy, and I was like I wanted to keep one and raise one, but we couldn't afford it. That and just I don't know. My mom and dad didn't think I was responsible enough at the time, which I get it, but I was also not like rough with animals. God no. Super gentle with them. If anything, like holding on to like baby animals and stuff always scared me. That I never did it because I just didn't want to I don't know. I didn't want to do something wrong, I guess, but not like in a way that like fucking psychotic where I knew I would have. No, it's more of just like I was just afraid because I knew they were really fragile, and sometimes some animals are like very sporadic and try to jump, and I'm like no. I was like, no, I don't want to deal with that. Oh, and then obviously my pet birds. God. Fucking Petey. Petey and the other green one we had that we didn't get to name because she ended up dying. A lot of early deaths like that. Well, not a lot, just that one. But we still don't know what the fuck happened to her. Our theory is that either, whatchamacallit, I think PD fucking ended up attacking her one night, but we didn't hear anything, so I don't think so. That, and she didn't have any marks. Like, she was perfectly healthy and fine. She showed no signs of anything whatsoever. And it was just weird. We just woke up one day and she just passed away. We're just like, what the fuck? Like, she wasn't sick. We were so fucking confused, but PD was happy because unfortunately she hated PD for no reason. Like, oh my god, I felt so bad for him because when we first got them, they were a gift from my sister's ex-boyfriend from high school ages ago. Not the one I lived with, the fucking oldest 30-year-old. But his grandma sold animals in the flea market, and she had a bunch of parakeets. And before this guy ended up coming out as a complete piece of shit, fucking Aldo, piece of fucking caca. No, I stole his games, so there's Pokemon games, so it's okay. But, ow, what the fuck? I'm trying to fucking scoot up. But, nah. I'm saying. But yeah, she gave 2 parakeets to my sister. Sorry, to her fucking grandson to give to my sister because it was like a romantic thing to do, I guess. Like, it was an old traditional thing. I forgot why or how, but we got them. And as soon as we got them, the green one, the female bird that I was just talking about, she was very aggressive towards Petey, and Petey would always just kind of like try to get away from her, and every time he wanted to eat, she wouldn't let him. It was so bad that we had to like take them apart at some point. But we were trying to get them to see, we were trying to like hopefully see if we can get them to stop fucking fighting. Well, not even them fighting, it was always just her. He never fought back. I felt so bad for him, but one night we went to bed and just woke up like that, and Petey was dancing. He was a happy little bird. Like, he had just, the Wicked Witch is finally fucking dead type of thing. I don't know. I was kind of fucking traumatized because I was like, oh my god. But Petey became the best and the smartest, like, little bird I had in terms of, like, how quick he was to be trained. I don't know if he was already, like, trained or whatnot, but I don't know. But he understood me pretty well. And I remember his whole thing was, like, if you held up one finger, and he usually only ever did it with me. Because, I always bonded with, like, the animals we had, like, pretty heavily, because, I loved them. I always wanted to make sure they knew that, like, oh, we're not a threat. Let's just, let's go through this life, little guy. But every time, or, like, it was, like, every day we'd let Petey out of his cage. Unless it was bedtime, of course, because we couldn't supervise him. But we let him out of his cage, and he would fly around, do a little dance, and we had some toys for him that he fucking enjoyed. We even bought him, like, those little treat thingies that you should only be giving them, like, once or something. I forgot. Not once in their life, but, like pretty okay, or not as occasion. Fuck, grammar's not helping me here. But no, I loved him. He was really smart. Like I said, I trained him pretty quickly. But I don't think it's because I'm such a good trainer. Fuck no, I was a kid. I was stupid as fuck. He was just really smart. And there was points and times, like I said, I would hold out my finger and be like, Petey, and he was like usually knocking out the rubber band from this little bag we had on top of our cupboards and throwing them on the floor. And he would jump on the edge of the cupboard to look for me, and find me, and then he'd fly towards me, and then he'd start doing a little jig on my finger, and I'm like, how you doing, little guy? And he just started continuously doing his little dance, his little fucking Fortnite groove. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, Petey. And it was great. Another thing he did was, he would play with my hand. So, like, what I would do is I would, like, he loved landing on our recliner, on the top portion of it. And I would, like, tap my fingers. I'm like, Petey, come here. And he would. And he waited for me to tap again on the other side, and he would run back and forth and run back and forth. And he loved it. Oh, another little hobby of his was landing on the floor just to chase you around and try biting your fucking foot. But not like even aggressively, like playfully. It was fun. It was funny as fuck. But obviously we all knew not to like start stomping around and actually run in. When he did it to me, I just like slid my foot left and right very carefully because that's a little fucking bird right there. And then I'd pick him up and I'm like, how are you today? And he just started chirping at me and again doing his little jig. But no. To further reinforce the fact that that little thing was smart, he learned how to open his own cage at some point. Solely by watching how we do it with the little latch and everything he had on it. And there came a time where we had to like change it because he would escape his cage in the middle of the night, even if we had like a little thin blanket over for him to go to sleep. I guess he was bored of sleeping that he would wake up, open the latch, jump out, move the cloth, and then just hang around. So we would wake up to him, like taking a little nap on the side of his cage, and then he would just start like dancing when he saw us, and I was like, oh my god, Petey, get the fuck back in your cage. Well, at that point there was no point because it was around the time where we let him roam free and have his space, had to like, do his little exercises and whatnot. Because I eventually wanted to train him to like to roam outside and have him come back freely. But I didn't know how to do that. I would watch a bunch of videos of how to train budgies and stuff like that. And no. Same with like any other pet. Like how to help them get more comfortable in an environment, how to soothe them, like small steps to do all that. But I mean, as I grew older, I only really had parakeets or budgies. Not like back to back, of course not. But so I mainly looked into how to train birds specifically. So I know how to do that. Do you ever see me approaching a random ass bird in public? Most likely trying to see if I can hold it. Not like with my bare fucking hands on my palms or like a sandwich or something. More just like, vibing on my finger. Making them do a little groove or something. And then have them as a carrier pigeon. And deliver messages to random people. As to what those messages would be. I'm not sure. I thought it'd be funny if I ever did get like a pigeon trained to send messages and whatnot or deliver messages to people. It'd be kind of funny to just put Overwatch voice lines in them. I mean, it's not that funny, but I don't know. Just goofy idea. Goofy, unrealistic thing I'd do. But I don't know. But God, I don't know. That was mainly like the good little fun things growing up as a kid. From the pets I had to fun little memories. I mean, I remember witnessing my oldest sisters going through their emo phase. Kind of not really. Only one of them had like a goth emo phase. And my mom was heavily against it because she would watch like soap operas or Spanish soap operas. Novelas. Novellas. I'm trying to say it really white, but She would watch this one that was like about being emo, I guess. And they were endorsing some pretty bad things, and she was like replicating it, and my mom got mad and hated the idea, and she was like, I don't care if it's a phase, like I just like that's a big no-no and blah blah blah, and I don't know. But the one thing I'll always remember is I had gotten a I think it was an iPod Nano. It's the one with the screen. It was an upgrade from my little iPod Cube thing. And it was already loaded with a bunch of songs. Even it's the one that had the little like camera on it too on the back. There's really shitty like 144p quality. But I whatchamacallit, I had left it at home one day when my sister had to go to the doctors for her like physical, I believe, yearly physical. And she ended up erasing half of those songs, taking it for herself, and putting a bunch of like what was considered emo back then. Green Day, Paramore was a big one. What's that other one that's like Paramore? Ariel Levine. What else? Fuck. Any like basic emo like songs and stuff from like the early 2000s is most likely what she was listening to, but she obviously couldn't put a whole ton because storage was extremely limited. I don't even remember how many megabytes that thing had, like maybe 250 less. I'm sure it was probably less, like 15, because everything was measured by kilobytes. Let me see, how much storage capacity on a human brain? What the fuck? What the fuck? Why is that the first search? Whatever, on a iPod Nano. Oh, there's different generations. A gigabyte to 16 gigs. No, we didn't have. Here's a 120 gig one. But did they all have cameras? I don't think so. That's the one we got was like a knockoff, which I guess would make sense. I think it's the Gen 5 at 16 gigs of space. That's a lot for anything back then. But no, she took it from me and loaded a bunch of songs into it. And erased like half of mine to make space. Made me so sad. I had so many like, but by default I had like a bunch of like IPs in there. I had to delete some of the songs that were already in there. Some of the stuff like my aunt likes that I fucking hated. She used to listen to a lot of Lil Wayne. Which I didn't mind at the time. It's just the ones she would choose are always fucking horrible. I don't know. But I don't know. But I would fill it with like a bunch of old classic rock. Or the dad rock of things, because my dad liked a lot of dad rock-esque things, and I would listen to them too. AC/DC being like one of the biggest ones. But I feel like it's like the most basic like dad rock fucking band out there, in my opinion. They're good, don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, fucking pretty basic. And then I put some of the songs my mom had from different rock bands she liked. And then some Chicago, because can't forget Chicago. I think that was it. And then at some point in time, when I still had the thing, and it was still functional before my sisters fucking broke it. By sisters, I mean my oldest ones, because they would always fight for anything I had, or anything anyone had, when they were fucking, oh my god, spoiled to the brim with their dad's fucking family, giving them so many things. But nah, fucking. Oh, I started putting Skrillex in the fucking thing whenever his whole fucking thing was popping off. I remember going to the fucking computer lab when I was like in 5th grade, we had a new computer lab tech guy that they hired. We no longer had the other guy that fucking hated his job. Mr. G, I think. This time we had Mr. Trevino. He was alright. He was kind of lame, but alright. And I remember fucking Jose Luevano just blasting fucking Skrillex through his like shitty little cheap made school headphones that they would always give us. I remember him blasting, oh my god, what's the one that like the most like the one that's like most popular Skrillex song, the fucking call 911 now. Bam, 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 bam. There's that one and Cinema. You are my cinema. I could watch you forever. Cinema, cinema. Something, something, get down. Or like something DJ, I don't remember. But I remember learning those lyrics for no goddamn reason. It's a fucking dubstep, fucking techno song. No one ever sings to it. But, I don't know. To me, it was a test if I could remember them. But my favorite, like, techno song, who was it? I don't think it was Skrillex that made it. Maybe it was, but it was a collaboration with Rob Zombie. Sick. Bubblegum. Oh, it was Skrillex. Oh, okay. No, wait. So that means he didn't officially ever make a song. No, he did. So why isn't it uploaded? What was his name? Sonny Moore or something like that? Or is that one fucking Disney Channel show? The Life of Sonny or something like that. One Blondie that people subbed for. Anywho, fucking, yeah, I don't know. My music taste was wacky growing up. It was all over the place, but initially I always stuck to classic rock. It was some of my favorite. But, fuck no. No, I'm gonna do like a game's worth. I haven't played in a while. Mouse and keyboard detected. Yeah. It's not on. Please get the fuck off my screen. Yes, I'll just do all. I don't care what I get. But, God, no. I don't know. There's a lot of patches into a lot of memorable things growing up. So pretty when you tell me that you love me. Trying to like think of things, but nothing's really coming to mind. I know Bostrom was very like surprised by how much walking I did as a kid. So self-aware. And I always told him like, yeah, no, I mean most of my life growing up we walked everywhere. Like never stayed home alone, nothing like that. Parents were too paranoid to allow us, and we just went everywhere, especially because we didn't really have a car. Well, we didn't have a car. And yeah. So I was always used to like going out, walking fucking wherever. I remember specifically when I was a kid, there was a couple of times where we would get a substitute bus driver and he would never know exactly where any of us lived. So I would I would lie to him to drop me off somewhere randomly so I can go look at this one spot in my hometown where it used to be this really beautiful like nature trail walk, whatever the fuck. And there was like this pond in the middle that I guess someone had made symbolically for somebody. And I was just gonna vibe there. There was a fucking bench all broken down that I'd sit on the other half of so I didn't fucking, I don't know, pierce my ass with a plank or something. think we win this one. Fuck you. Get slapped. But no, I got in trouble one time for doing that because my mom was like, well, where did you go? Your sisters tell me that you've been purposely getting off different spots. And I'm like, no. Someone could kidnap you. My logic, or my counter attack to that was like, well, they haven't. So. Poor guy. What are we shooting at? You wanna kill her? Oh, I should have healed him. Oh, wow. Oh, did she put him on the jump pad? Oh, this ain't good. I'm probably gonna get hooked here. Yep. Oh my god, Arjuna is doing her healing. She's probably having a rough one. It's okay. Just, what the fuck are you staring at, lady? Oh, maybe they're inviting their friend there. He's antied. Oh my god, just fucking take it. Hi, kitty. Fuck. I can't hear my game at all, so. And no way in hell was I gonna hear that. But no, I mean, I'm trying to think. I remember we used to take a lot of road trips growing up. Those were fun when they weren't fucking terrifying, I guess. Oh no. Leave her alone, she's trying her best. But my favorite road trip that we take every so often was the road trip to, I guess I don't want to DOS anything, so it was this place up north where there was a bunch of mountains in the distance and stuff, and we would go to this park that had like this hill. It's to support life. Had like this. I didn't explain this. Like a mount or fuck. Okay, like, God, I hate when people are like that and fucking quick play of all things. Shut the fuck up, dude. Ain't that serious. We ain't going to the fucking international fucking championships here. We don't win. Can't help him over there. Nah, he's dead. Poor guy. What was that? Oh, they both got antied. God damn it. I shouldn't have followed. That's my fault. But, no. We sometimes took road trips to bigger cities, stuff like that. I was usually pretty scared of or like the towns we usually went by and whatnot. Because they had massive buildings that I was not familiar with, and I was scared of heights, so even looking up scared the fuck out of me. And, oh my god, Juno, you're okay. Oh my god, Juno. She's fine. We need to get a peg here. I'm gonna get hooked. Close. Is he coming underneath? That was, yep. Oh, Reaper. Got killed by a fucking cat named Bowl. I feel like someone's already done this, but I'm like tempted just to be funny, make a fucking Smurf called Dog and just play cat, you know? It's like, whatever. Oh, you. Oh, right, okay. I was confused. I was like, when did they get an Orisa? Didn't I just get killed by a diva? We have an Orisa. Give it to the Bastion, I don't want to. I hope she doesn't think I'm like giving her shit for the heals and whatnot. I don't care. Juno, go get him. I wouldn't go in there though. Fuck you, kitty. No, she's leaving me behind. That's so fucked up. Oh wow. Does he not have Wraith? Okay. No. Oh my god. I've been seeing those fucking TikToks of like, you were born in the 90s if you had this, which most times obviously I was not. But it's just funny to see because one of them had a picture of, oh sorry, there's two things that caught my eye. One of them being the graham cracker peanut butter sandwiches, the peanut butter jelly sandwiches, and not the Uncrustables, so a whole different thing. And fucking, what are they called? The little skateboards you control with your hands or your fingers. Oh, she's anti. I would just say use his ult, but because he was too scared to. What could you do? What can you do? I forgot those voice lines were there. I just read one. Oh my god, these guys fucking whine so much. But no, I just started thinking about them and started thinking back to all like the old things I guess we had growing up. Snapchat, was it like NBA or something? Oh, just Steve Harvey. Did he film Steve Harvey to blackmail him? Okay. That's a topic. Kenny's probably waiting for Hammer to get home. She's just on the home screen. Oh, Mao's on my team now. Oh, and I'm tank. I could have just not done that. I'll just go Sigma or something. Yeah, it's a decent Sigma map. Although I won't have any high ground advantage, so I like how low my fucking tanks are compared to, like, level-wise, compared to my DPS and support. I think my supports have, like, higher levels. I think my highest is Lucio at 50, I think. Like I said, tank in this game is fucking stressful. Like, it's very satisfying and rewarding, it's just... Ugh, fuck, dude. Gotta give up with a lot. I like how I haven't played with sound cues in a while. Kitty? Oh, kitty. But... I'm trying to, I don't know, I mean, I have a lot in mind in terms of, like, the way I grew up. The one thing I was thinking about earlier was that video I got on TikTok of this guy talking about, like, how hard it is to relearn Spanish after learning English after so long, and your own comedian making fun of you for it, and, you know, how much it just sucks, I guess. Leave the kitty alone. Here. But it got me thinking to when, like, I guess that started happening to me, where I was being made fun of for the way I spoke English. No, sorry, Spanish. Because, I mean, like I said before, I had to learn English pretty... not by force, or I don't know. I was discriminated against, and I had to, and it was horrible. It fucked with me a lot as a kid. You know, just having to go through all that sucked. Oh my god. But I mean, one of the first times my parents made fun of me. Or my mom, I guess, specifically. Well, nah, both of them. And, I had a friend named, Pedro in elementary. And he had told me where he lived. And so, I guess being the kid I was, excited to have been able to retain information, I tell my parents, like, hey, look, that's where Pedro lives. And, like I said, I was still in the process of learning English, and it wasn't the best. So, the way I would say Pedro, I was made fun of for. Oop. He's just gonna primal here. Yeah, I'm just gonna lift him up now. Fuck. I didn't think he'd juggle me all the way back. But I got made fun of for it, and it slowly demotivated me from, like, wanting to speak English, because, you know, I was so accustomed to Spanish that... Oh, whoops. Hey, monkey. Why did he jump up? What the fuck? Oh, Sombra. Trying to get him off of her. It's a widow all the way over there. He's going up there. Oh my gosh, he's still there. Someone's going cart. Anna. Trying to see if I can get the... Okay, cool. Okay, everyone died behind me. I didn't realize. Oh, fuck. I could've killed him. But... yeah, no, I remember after that day, I kind of didn't want to talk in general. And it just sucks, because, like I said, I had to pick up English because of the discrimination I went through, and fucking, I don't know. Big guy, what the fuck are you doing here? Fuck, this monkey's annoying. Trying to... I just want my third perk. Gonna wait for him to jump again. Jumped again. What? It didn't hit him. Mercy, goddamn, run. Oh, she still died. Both supports died too, the Juno thing. Fuck, I missed. I could swap. I mean, he's doing counter for me. It's usually what I hate about these modes is people tend to just play counter watch as soon as they hear what you're running. So they could have easily heard me fucking slapping some shit around and swap to monkey just to get an easy win out of it. But I hate that. But I like winning games with what I'm already naturally playing. Because, I don't know. Just rewarding, I guess. What's that on his name? Woke fetus? I was hoping that Sombra would go after that fucking Widow more often. Damn, she's dead. Yeah. No, I don't know. I have a lot in mind. That dream was a fucking conglomerate. Is that the word I'm looking for? Of a lot of things, and just, I don't know. I do miss that little spot though. This man has too much free range. That's 3 in the air. Cool. There's not much I can do here. Yeah. Oh, did we have a guy leave, or has he always been 0 and 7? I don't remember seeing the yellow text prompt pop up. But, I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, I don't know. That was like one of the first times where I was like, I questioned speaking English a lot, where like I didn't want to lose my understanding for Spanish, because I had a good amount of friends over time that, you know, purely spoke Spanish. And so in my head, I was paranoid of the fact that, what if I lose like my understanding of all this? Like, I don't want that. And so I debated heavily on even continuing to try, but no matter what, I had to. And it was very unfortunate, but now I'm fluent and my accent is gone. It's very strange. It's just, I don't know, it's something wacky that I think about. I think back into a lot often. Like, fuck, dude. What a weird time. Crazy that that's where I was at some point in time. That's who I was at some point. God, I always find it cringy thinking back then sometimes. remembering that my fucking some of my Spanish was fuck, how do I say this? I tried acting cool, picked up a bunch of slang and whatnot. Fucking, you know, ese fool, what's up, dog? But it was all in Spanish. Che perro. That just means fucking dog, but usually say that. What the fuck is making that noise? Is that my fan? No, it has to be my barn door looking ass mirror. I don't know. I mean, Bridget gave it to me. I love the thing. She had it in her hallway for the longest time. It's like an antique thing, and I love fucking antique materials and items. It has to be that. I can't imagine it's my fan, because if it's my fan, then that's a bit concerning. I'll have to listen before going to bed. I don't know, but yeah. Surprised it's on Sigma. He's on my top blade. I don't think so. How do I check that? Career. All modes. Oh, is he? No, it's a Doomfist. Let me see, is there any tanks above him? No. Doomfist, then Sigma, and then Reinhardt. Or Diva, really. Diva? I would have expected to be Orisa. I used to main Orisa when she came out. But I feel like I fucking said about any character that recently came out. Oh, I was on PC for Capture the Flag? That's so. Yeah, I like playing Lucio and fucking CTF. I guess I did all too. What's the difference between these two? They were both on console. I don't know why it has a PC icon. I definitely didn't play Lucio with a mouse and keyboard. Oh, this also, but yeah, I don't remember ever playing Hero Gauntlet that much. Lucio Ball. I miss Lucio Ball. There's double O, everything. Play versus AI. That makes sense, yeah. It's probably when I wanted to really pick her up and I was too afraid to play anything else. No, this was when we played with Lydia, isn't it? Not this shit. Fucking practice versus AI. Maybe, I'll see. Alright, I don't know, I'll see. Fuck, whatever. Oh, Windstream Beach Ball, that shit was so boring. Oh. It is my barn door looking at me. I just heard the squeak so loud. I don't know. The whole thing was Spanish and English and all that stuff. I got really discouraged for learning both. Like, learning English. Obviously, my pronunciation for a lot of the words were not perfect whatsoever. My accent got in the way a lot, to the point where, like, I would say things were to the point where it sounded like those stereotypes that people made fun of. Walmart, you know, like shit like that. And so I don't know, I didn't bother anymore. And I forgot there was an April Fool's event. Where is it? Here. Cool. But no, and then when I was learning Spanish again after my accent faded away and all that, I got made fun of again. Why do you say it like that? That's not how you say it in Spanish. And it's like, ugh. What the fuck's the point? Okay, that was a lot louder. Is it my chair? No, because I keep moving back and forth and not making any noise besides the leather. Oh, shit, hold on. I can't tell my fan's doing like a little tremble, as if it's like coming loose from somewhere. No. It's probably a ghost in my room or something. Kidding, but wouldn't that be cool? I'm gonna hate myself if I don't try to get some sleep before 3:30. But no. You know, when I was watching Heated Rivalries with my sister, I know this is off topic, but it's kind of related. The part that I found really sweet was when Hudson, I don't know if that's his name in the show or in real life, I don't remember. Oh, when Canadian boy tells Russian man, I'm gonna rephrase that. When Canadian man tells Russian man, like, oh no, fuck, sorry, switch it around. When Russian man tells Canadian man that he finds it hard to express and express himself in English, and he's much better in Russian, and he tells him like, "Oh, and tell me in Russian, like I'll learn it one day." I found it so sweet. And I was like, huh. I've tried doing that, but I sound like a complete fucking idiot, stumbling on my words. And because most of the time, if I were to like try to say something in Spanish, even now, like a sentence, it's gonna be followed up with in between a lot of, like, every couple of words, even every word. And I can't take myself seriously speaking in Spanish sometimes. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? You know? But no. Speaking of Spanish, quiz time, Monday, lunes, martes, Tuesday, miércoles, Wednesday, jueves, Thursday, viernes, Friday, sábado, Saturday, domingo, Sunday. I'm still trying to learn. Like, I'll take about 30 minutes in my day just saying that. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. I'm gonna start sounding like them fucking, those elote trucks. Elote, queso, you know. Or elote con limón, elote con queso, elote con pan. Fucking banger. But a good reason I also brought it up is because I wanted to leave something in here to maybe be decoded one day. It sounds stupid, sounds silly, I won't lie. Sounds even embarrassing for me because I'm gonna stutter and whatnot, but it's not something I haven't done before. I did it around this time about a year and a half ago. Well, 2 years ago, actually, yeah. And I did it because I knew you still watch these. But that was 2 years ago when I think he still cared about anything I was doing. But regardless, I still wanted to do it. It's just, I don't even know what I would say. I do and I don't, but I also don't want to sound like a fucking idiot. But it's good practice too for me. It's just, I'm not as fluent in it anymore, and it makes me sad, I won't lie. I really wish I was. Like, I can definitely hold a conversation. It's just more like there's a lot of stuttering and tripping over my words and whatnot. Sometimes I even forget certain phrases or how to say certain words in Spanish. So, but no. As for attempting it, I don't know if it's worth. Fuck. Sorry, I got a notification. Cats in soup. We miss you. I'm sorry, little guys. A lot of my games send me notifications because I hardly play the games that I have on my phone. I just have them because I can now. So I'm just like, fuck. I feel bad when they send me little messages like that. I'll be fine. They're making some big bucks. But I guess to conclude any of this, I'll finish saying what I want to say. I'll say the things I always wanted to say, but I never do because I don't want people to hear me say it. But what goes through mind, lo que va en mi mente, o también que fuck. Like I said, I forget a lot of words that I'm looking for. Sometimes I know only the slang version of them, so like it doesn't really help. But el sueño que tenía mucho de ti. Y cuando me levanté, estaba triste porque esa es la única I think I'm mostly just fucking up because I'm nervous. It's not an excuse. I get nervous and I fuck up my words. A lo que soñé tenía mucho de ti. En todas las partes que salías, estabas ahí conmigo, ayudándome en partes que no sabía que existías. Y la razón que me pone triste cuando me levanté porque es la única manera que te puedo ver otra vez. Porque al tiempo que pasa ahorita, todavía me recuerdo cómo te miraste, las cosas que amaba de ti, las cosas que me recordé. Nada todavía no se va. Y no es porque no estoy tratando a mover, es más porque te extraño y los días que están pasando, no más. No hay mucho de ti que me recuerde de ti. Y duele unas veces porque no te puedo decir ya no a las cosas que está pasando. Y los días que pasan, tengo tentación a mandarte un mensaje, but no lo hago porque ya sé que a lo mejor no quieres oír de mí ya no. No obstante tanto, si me dices que esa era la razón, o eso ya fue que querías, but todavía no me dijiste claramente y todavía me siento como nada está completo, como si vas a decir algo a una día y me siento como un tonto levantándome día a día, nomás checando mi teléfono, pensando que me vas a decir algo. No sé si me extrañas como te extraño tú o si piensas de mí como pienso de tú. Pienso a veces que sí, but, pues pienso también que haces cosas para no pensar ya no, diciéndote a ti es solamente que yo Eva nada, nomás Eva alguien que vivía a otra parte. También pienso que las personas que están alrededor de ti te dicen eso también. Cuando si Eva diferente con alguien más, no Eva así. Y me triste esto, que todo lo- todos los días que pasaron, o que pasa ahorita, que no dices nada. Cuando la única cosa que quiero es de oír de ti. Muchas cosas pasaron que ya no te puedo decir. Y si un día pasa que si dices algo, no pienso que debo oír como quiera. Porque estas cosas son las cosas que yo necesito llevar conmigo. Son cosas que ya llevé conmigo toda la vida. Y me cansan mucho. Tanto que duele. No como quiera. No estoy enojado contigo como quiera. But te extraño todos los días. Siempre hay algo que me recuerda de ti y quiero llorar. Mis ojos me duelen a veces porque no sé si me puedo reír. Ya no con las cosas que dejaste. Las cosas que siempre vienen a la mente y duele. Pues como quiera, te, siempre estás en el mente y en el corazón. Porque yo pensaba que la vida que querías conmigo se oía bien, se oía, se oía hermosa. So, no me miras en otra manera, porque ya sabes que Eva, truth, como las cosas cambiaron una voladita y no me hablaste a mí como que era. Y ahora, todos los días que pasaron, nomás pienso día por día las cosas que podía decir, las cosas que no se van de a mí, que I just wish I said. Te extraño, siempre. A mejor en día, si me dices algo. Pues ahorita ya sabes cómo encontrarme. Siempre voy a estar aquí. No matter what. Siempre. Can imagine that. That all sounded like mumbled shit, so. But I'm not gonna listen back to that. But either way, I'm gonna head to bed. Have a good night, morning, afternoon, day, month, week, whatever the fuck. And as always,